Hey Tiffany, that was super sneaky of you uploading that traveling video. You're all over the place. As you know, I wrote an article earlier this week about not only playing board games with kids, but making them lose at those board games. I know, because of its reception, which still just blows my mind, and thank you to everybody who read it, retweeted it, thumbed it, all of that. It really means a lot to me. I've decided to make this week's video about games that I make my kids lose. My gaming life is delightfully varied because I play with a 3-year-old and I play with a 10-year-old. The nice thing about gaming with my younger son is that I'm able to focus on not making him lose as much. That kind of contradicts what I said in my article, but he needs to have those foundational skills. So we started him with Orchard, which is by Annalise, a really long, hard last name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. It's a co-op game. On your turn, you roll your dice, and the dice tells you whether you're picking one of 4 types of fruit, or if the pesky crow appears to eat your fruit. It's a great game for color recognition, but it's also a great game for teaching social skills. When the crow shows up, it can be super easy for a little kid to get upset, or they can take it like a champ. Oh no! The good thing about using the Home Alone approach to undesirable outcomes is that it transfers to games with competitive elements, which is like another one that he loves is Chicken Cha 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 by Klaus Zock. It's basically a memory game, and there are tiles in a circular path surrounding a face-down pool of tiles that you have to use to move you along the outer rim. If you flip over a tile that matches the next tile on your path, then you get to move and you get to keep going until your turn is over. If you catch up with the player in front of you, you take one of their feathers from the back, get everyone else's feathers, and you win. If you don't find a match or can't get a feather...
There's the chicken! Oh! Daddy's gonna get mommy! No!
Because my older son started playing board games at 7, he had a stronger base for the critical thinking skills and social skills. And we thought that meant that he was ready for tougher games. And by tougher games, I mean his first game was Railroad Tycoon. He actually did really well with it. He's no tycoon, but it definitely sparked his love for board games. Since then, he's played all sorts, some which he likes, some which he doesn't. One thing that I didn't mention in the article, but is similar to making them lose, is making them play games that they don't want to play in the first place. It helps them learn how to handle situations that they don't want to be in on the front end, as where in the article I talked about working them through emotions as they're playing the game. One such game that my son is not particularly fond of and struggled with is Hansa Teutonica by Andreas Stetting. In case you didn't know, Hansa is a root network building game. You're basically trying to control cities by building offices along a route or routes. There are some bonus tiles you can pick up. I never do, but you should. Everyone starts with a player mat with identical abilities on them. You can upgrade those abilities by building along certain routes on the board. The action point allowance part of the game can be really frustrating if you don't upgrade your ability to take more actions for whatever reason. And I'll admit that I'm not really good at this game, so when I see it, sometimes I want to cry too, but I still play it. I force my son to play it. We can lose together. The playing games you don't want to play works both ways, of course. Letting your kid pick a game every now and again is probably a good idea. There are several games that my son loves that I do not. One of those games is Couriers by Mike Elliott and Eric Lang. And because I'm occasionally a good mother and I want my son to feel good about himself, I will play this game with him. Couriers is a dice building game where each player is a warrior setting off on some adventure to capture creatures with quiddity, which is money, and based on how you purchase those dice, you get special abilities, which help you get other dice, which help you win the game. On your turn, you roll dice, buy dice, and or send dice to battle. If the dice that you send into battle are still there on your next turn, you get glory, and that's how you win the game. I have yet to enjoy a game of Couriers, but he can't get enough of it. So there you have it. Those are the games that I make my kids lose. Well, mostly.